induction video. We are so excited that you have chosen to join us in September, and we cannot wait to meet you and your children and welcome you to our school. The purpose of this video is to give you some essential information that you need before your child starts with us at Abbey View. I'm going to introduce you to our early years team. My name is Gemma Burrell and I am the early years lead and reception class teacher. And I would like to start by giving you a warm welcome and sharing our excitement for having you join our growing community. Now, it's my job as the early years lead to ensure that your children get a flying start in their education. I know the importance of children feeling safe and respected while they are with us at Abbey View. In the early years, we prioritise child-led play and we aspire to engage and excite your children within their learning. As parents, we know that you are your children's first educators and you'll be able to share with us information on how your children learn, their interests, what they like and what they don't like. Working as partners with the school, creating a positive home-school communication, we hope to make the transition to Abbey View as positive and enjoyable for you and your child. Our entire team have a wealth of experience and we aim to make your child's start in their school career successful.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Hope and I am the TA in Foundation Stage.
In our reception class, we will also have an additional teaching assistant. Hopefully you are already familiar with our Academy Principal, Miss Mirza, as well as the Academy Secretary and Travel Plan Coordinator, Mrs Pace. Later in this video, I will also be introducing you to our Forest School lead, Mrs Wetherall. Abbey View opened its doors on the 5th of September 2019. This year we will welcome 30 new children into the foundation stage. Our current year 2s will move up to year 3 and we will have our very first Key Stage 2 class. And it's also a very exciting time for the early years with our Academy Nursery opening as well. At Abbey View, all children will be consistently immersed in the Academy's motto of learning today, leading tomorrow.
Our aim here at Abbey View is that we recognise that all children are different. They are individuals who have their own interests, views, opinions and ideas. From the moment your children start at Abbey View, we teach them to be effective learners. And we do this through our 5 characteristics. They are resourcefulness, risk-taking, relationships, reflectiveness, and resilience. We help children develop these by using our dinosaur friends. We talk about what these words mean and what they look like in action. Our aim is that when your children leave reception to join year 1, they will be curious, motivated and independent within their learning. When your children first start in reception, we will give them lots of opportunities to get to know us and for us to get to know them. We will establish our class rules and routines and help your children to understand and follow these. We of course know that starting school is a big step and we will be there along the way to help your child with learning these aspects of school life. While your children are in the early years, we assess them through ongoing observations. Each day we will have a whole class carpet session and this will be linked to our topic for that week or for that half term. The children will then spend most of the day playing within our classroom and outside area. Through the provision that we provide, we will look to develop your children's learning through the experiences, through observations, by listening, watching, playing and talking with your children. And we will constantly be looking to extend their thinking. We'll take photos and videos of your children throughout the day and use all of this information to plan next steps. We are really fortunate here in the early years that we use an online learning journal known as Tapestry. This allows us to take photos and videos of your children and share them with you that day. You'll be able to comment on observations at school as well as share learning experiences from home.
At the end of the year in the summer term, we will use all of the information shared on your child's online learning journal, photos, videos, observations, as well as learning experiences shared from home. And we will complete what we call the Early Years Foundation Stage Profile. Within the early years, there are 7 different areas of learning and 17 early learning goals. We will make a judgment on whether your children are emerging within the early learning goals, whether they are working at the expected level, or whether they are exceeding the expectations for their age. All of these judgments will be shared with you in an end of year report.
The approach to curriculum design in the early years is based on topic-based learning. We also follow your children's interests and plan for their next steps. We implement adult-led learning, small group activities, and lots of child-initiated play. We aim to make the curriculum as engaging and real for your children as possible, whether this be with visits from local police officers or firefighters when learning about our local community, school trips to the farm during our spring topic, or simple hooks within our lessons, such as receiving a letter from Goldilocks when learning about traditional tales.
In the early years, children are assessed against 7 different areas of learning. There are 4 specific areas, which are literacy, mathematics, understanding the world, and expressive arts and design. We then have 3 prime areas of learning: personal, social and emotional development, communication and language, and physical development. Personal, social and emotional development is all about your children making relationships with their peers, developing their social skills, managing their feelings, understanding the behavioural boundaries in place and responding appropriately, as well as building their self-confidence and self-awareness. Communication and language is all about us providing a rich language environment for your children, helping to develop their skills within speaking, listening and attention, as well as within their understanding. Physical development is all about encouraging your children to be active, developing their coordination and control with bigger movements, their gross motor skills, ultimately helping them with their fine motor skills, being able to effectively hold and handle a pencil. Within physical development, we also talk about health and self-care, so encouraging your children to make healthy choices, understanding the importance of exercise and good hygiene, as well as learning to toilet and dress themselves independently. The early years is the foundation for children's early reading and writing skills. By following the letters and sounds phonics scheme, we will teach your children the letter-sound correspondences, so understanding what letters make what sound. Your children will then learn to blend simple words when reading and segment the sounds when writing. Mathematics is split into two categories: children's understanding and application of number, as well as shape, space, and measure. We then move on to understanding the world. We will explore people and communities, teaching children that families are varied and different. We will explore the world around us. We are really lucky with our local forest school area that we will be able to explore the local environment within all 4 seasons. And we will also explore modern technology. As a new school, we have a range of technology that we can access in the classroom, including class iPads, an interactive whiteboard, visualizers, remote control toys, and laptops. And finally, we have expressive arts and design. So encouraging your children to explore and use a range of media and materials, and encouraging and engaging with their imagination. Underpinning all of this are what we call the characteristics of effective learning. This is us as practitioners having an awareness of the different ways that children should be learning within the early years. We have playing and exploring. So children finding out and exploring different things, playing with what they know, and being willing to have a go. We then move on to creating and thinking critically. So children having their own ideas, making links within their learning, and choosing new ways to do things. And finally, we have active learning, children being involved and concentrating on a set task, showing perseverance to keep trying, and ultimately achieving what they set out to do. So you are now on your way to Abbey View. As a brand new school in a growing community, we are working hard to ensure that all our children have the chance to learn the importance of eco-friendly travel and how to do this safely. We encourage you as much as possible to walk, cycle, scoot to school as opposed to driving. So what does a typical day look like in reception? In all honesty, there is no typical day. We follow your children's interests, so every day looks different. However, I'm going to try and give you as much information for some of the everyday routines. So when your children start at Abbey View, they will enter through the gates and they will be able to come in to the outside area where they will have their very own peg. They will be able to hang up their PE bag and then take themselves with their water bottle and book bag to our playground. Your children will then come onto our school playground. You will have the opportunity to talk with some of the other parents and for your children to say hello to their friends. At about 8:50, a member of staff will blow the whistle and all of the children will line up in their lines, ready to be taken in to the classroom with their class teacher. When your children enter into the classroom, they will have a box to put their book bag in and a trolley for their water bottles.
They will then do a self-registration. So this means they have to find and recognise their name and place their name into the basket. This is a really good way at teaching their children to recognise their name and to become independent. We then start every single morning with a Go Noodle. So this is a wake and shake dance to get ourselves energised, ready for the morning. We will then have registration together as a class, followed by our carpet session for that day. Your children will then spend most of the day in free flow. And while your children are in the classroom, we follow an assertive discipline policy. So this is teaching children that their behaviours have rewards and consequences. Now in the classroom, we use a peg chart. So every child will start with their name on the blue sky. So every day children start afresh, whether they were on the rainbow the day before or whether they were further down our peg chart. Children will then have the opportunity throughout the day to move up to our sunshine and then to our rainbow, or to move down the peg chart if they are displaying behaviour that is going against our rules and policies. If a child was to stay and remain on the rain cloud for the day, that would then just be a conversation with you at the end of the day to talk about how we can encourage and motivate your children to follow our behaviour policy. So when your children begin at Abbey View, after a few weeks they will start to bring home their own reading books. This will allow you to support with their early phonics skills and knowledge while at home. In the autumn term, we hope to hold a phonics workshop to further support you with this. We know how important it is to embed the skills of reading. So when your children join, we will share picture books with you at home. This will encourage your children to talk about the story, understand narrative structures, and encourage children to talk in sentences about what they can see. We encourage you to read with your children and to your children as often as possible.
Your children will have the opportunity to attend a forest school session every fortnight. Your children will be able to learn outdoors and exercise their practical and creative skills. I'm now going to pass over to Mrs. Wetherall, our forest school lead.
This is Miss Wetherall's forest school leader.
At Forest School, the children learn from first-hand experiences, which allow them to be creative, take measured risks, and learn new skills which will help them to grow in confidence and develop a respect for the natural world.
Outside, going outside,
Rain or shine,
rain or shine,
working in the woodland,
working in the woodland,
with friends of
mine,
exploration,
exploration,
having fun, working in my own way,
working in my own way,
the best I can.
best I can.
I'm fantastic,
I'm fantastic,
follow all the rules,
follow the rules,
I can solve a problem
I can solve a problem
at forest school.
at forest school.
The children will have their forest school sessions in a dedicated woodland area. At Forest School, your children will cook over an open fire, use tools, make dens, climb logs and trees, leave trails, go on scavenger hunts, make natural art, identify wildlife and bugs, and lots more.
Every day your children will have their school lunch in the school hall together with Year 1 and Year 2. Our kitchen is on site, which means the food is prepared fresh every single day, and your children will have the option to have a hot school meal.
Each week you will need to order your child's lunches online. You will find that for each day there is a meat option, a vegetarian option, a jacket potato option and a halal option.
Will your children wear to Abbey View? So we have the uniform here. So we have a Abbey View burgundy jumper and a cardigan with the white polo shirt with the school embroidery. We then have navy trousers or a tartan skirt. We also have a tartan pinafore dress as well. When your children start school, they will need an Abbey View book bag. Now the book bag here you'll see has the long strap. For children in reception, we ask for you to just get the book bag with the smaller handle. This just makes home times a lot easier for us and for your children. For girls in the winter, they can wear navy socks or tights. And in the summer, we have a summer dress. You will see that on our uniform suppliers website there are lots of other items with the Abbey View logo, such as water bottles and coats. These are lovely items to have for school, but they are not compulsory, so please don't feel you have to go and buy everything that is on the website. A normal coat and normal water bottle are absolutely fine. You will also see that there is a Abbey View rucksack. This rucksack is aimed for the older children in Key Stage 1 and 2, so we please ask that you do not send your child to school with any form of rucksack in reception. It makes it a lot easier for home times if your children just have the school book bag.
You will also see information about our PE kit. So you will need a burgundy t-shirt, navy jogging bottoms and shorts, plimsolls and trainers and a PE bag. At Abbey View, we can only administer prescription medication. If for any reason your child needs a prescription, please take the medicine straight to the school office. Medicine should be in its original packaging with the prescription label and your child's name printed. A form must be completed at the school office before we are able to administer any medicine at school. It is essential that you inform us of all medical conditions prior to your child's start date and no later than their first day. If your child is bringing any food into school, please ensure that it does not contain any whole or pieces of nuts. At Abbey View, we offer a range of before and after school clubs, holiday clubs, covering both academic, physical and creative opportunities. When your child starts in September, you will have more information as to what clubs are running within the autumn term. As a growing school, we are always looking for new members to join our PTFA. The Parents, Teachers and Friends Association at Abbey View is run by a small group of parents who are able to meet regularly to organise events or activities with the aim of raising money for the school. Already this year, they have raised money for Christmas presents for all of the children, our Living Eggs initiative when we were able to watch chicks hatch on our 24-hour live stream, as well as raising money for wet play toys. You can already join our Parents of Abbey View Facebook page and follow us on Twitter.
Hope that you have found all of the information in this video as informative as possible. If you do have any questions, we have set up an email address, especially for the early years this year, so please don't hesitate to get in contact. You can also email Mrs. Pace in the school office at office@avpa.school. So before we say goodbye, I would just like to share some top tips to help you prepare your child for school in September. So a few things such as practicing to put their uniform on and to take their uniform off will really help us when we start to do our weekly PE sessions. Practicing to put their own shoes on, wash their hands after going to the toilet and toileting independently as much as possible. Being able to put their own coat on and hang it up onto a peg. When your children go into the hall for lunch, they will collect their tray, they will go and get their food and their cutlery and choose their own pudding. Children will then sit at a table with the rest of their class and be expected to use their cutlery as independently as possible. When they have finished their food, they will then take their tray, scrape all of their leftover food into the bin and put their tray in the correct place and their cutlery as well. So these are all things you can start to practice at home, just to encourage your children to be as independent as possible. We are so excited for your children to start with us in September. Please do share the videos and information we have sent with them to make them feel as prepared as possible.
If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us using the email addresses provided.